crews are digging through the rubble of that fertilizer plant in West Texas near Waco. We showed you this explosion last night. They're trying to find any sign of life after last night's massive blast. Officials aren't sure how many people were killed. They say more than 160 people are hurt. In fact, one of the victims was identified today as an off-duty firefighter with the city of Dallas. The blast was as strong as a magnitude 2.1 earthquake, leveling homes and businesses in every direction. Texas Governor Rick Perry called it a nightmare scenario.
This tragedy has most likely hit every family. It's touched practically everyone in that town.
OSHA records show this plant was last inspected in 1985, nearly 30 years ago. Minnesota has more than 1,000 facilities that produce and store fertilizer. So tonight, we're getting answers about regulations here in Minnesota. Our 5 Eyewitness News reporter Mark Albert is here now to explain that and what makes fertilizer so potentially dangerous. Mark?
We have first responders in our area actually train at some of these storage sites to be prepared in case of an emergency. Anhydrous ammonia fertilizers can easily explode in the right conditions. But since World War I, fertilizers have become a big part of a farmer's toolkit.
The planet would have 1/3 as many people on it if it weren't for fertilizers.
It's that critical.
Oh, yeah.
University of Minnesota chemistry professor Dr. Chris Kramer
Ammonium nitrate.
says fertilizers deliver nitrogen to the soil,
And the little nitrates with the red balls and the nitrogen's blue.
which is a key element to help the crops we eat grow.
So every time a farmer plants a crop in a field, it uses up the nitrogen in that soil. And if you don't put nitrogen back into the soil, you will not grow another generation of crops in there.
Anhydrous ammonia fertilizers are made at 20 facilities across the state. In Savage, this warehouse holds other types of fertilizers, phosphate and potash. The facility is owned by Plymouth-based Mosaic, the world's largest combined producer of those types of fertilizers. Minnesota is home to nearly 1,000 fertilizer storage facilities, all inspected and permitted by the State Department of Agriculture. So you'll look at safety, equipment, training, maintenance.
All of those things.
Joe Spitzmuller told us his 16 inspectors visit each facility at least once every 3 years. 30% of the 287 anhydrous ammonia storage facilities are typically in violation of state law or rules, he says.
Yeah, we hope that will improve, and we are always working to improve that.
30% is almost 1 out of every 3.
1 out of every 30. Among this 30 are some violations that are not, I don't want to say unimportant, but not necessarily critical to the safe operation of the site.
The state can fine or shut down facilities that violate the law. The company Mosaic says it works closely with first responders in its communities. In fact, the emergency manager in Savage says the company's manager there called him this morning to discuss the Texas incident and why it was a different type of facility from the one in Texas. Mark Albert, 5 Eyewitness News.
Beer is suddenly a